Hello, I'm Mary McGahan and I'm here today with Christopher F. Dines, and we're here to talk about his new workbook and course, Mindfulness Burnout Prevention, an 8-week course for professionals. Hello Christopher, how are you today?
I'm well, thank you.
First of all, I'd like to start by asking you exactly what is mindfulness?
That's a brilliant question. Mindfulness has become a very popular phrase. Mindfulness essentially means awareness, and so awareness of our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions and sensations as they arise in the present moment. And it's also being aware of other people, being aware of their presence and how we respond or react to them.
Mindfulness has been scientifically proven to reduce stress and anxiety and to help prevent burnout. What value will the Mindfulness Burnout Prevention 8-week course for professionals bring to an organisation, Christopher?
Employees are under enormous stress and pressure today, and that's progressing and it's getting worse. And so Mindfulness Burnout Prevention literally means preventing burnout and helping employees and employers to be able to demonstrate equanimity during vicissitudes, because the fan's always getting hit at work or in a company or an organisation, and if we're not able to respond to our problems and challenges in the working environment, then that can create a lot of unnecessary suffering. And so an employer knows that they're going to get the best out of their staff if the people they're employing have the right frame of mind. And that's why Mindfulness Burnout Prevention is a very beneficial course for the workplace.
One of the subjects you've covered in the course is emotional resilience. Can you tell us a bit more about how mindfulness enhances emotional resilience?
Again, we have difficulties in the workplace, in our professional lives. There are challenges and there are times where we can feel really frustrated and at times angry because things aren't going the way we want them to. But with the mindfulness practice, so going back to mindfulness meaning awareness, being aware of our thoughts, our emotions and our emotional triggers, it means that any time our mind is telling us to quit or just to pack it all in, or what's the point, it's not worth it, then we can be fully aware of those thoughts and those emotional triggers. And it means that we don't have to react. It means we can respond and make conscious choices in the present moment. And so that means we strengthen our emotional resilience. Any time that we don't balk and quit and we continue to persist, we strengthen ourselves and we grow wiser through the process.
You've also included self-compassion in the MBP course. Can you explain what you mean by this?
Yes, self-compassion is very important. It's so easy to beat ourselves up with negative self-talk, directing ill feeling towards ourselves because of our shame and guilt and regret. So when we direct compassion towards ourselves, it means we're taking care of ourselves. And it's true that people, generally speaking, respond to us due to the way that we treat ourselves. And so if we're putting out that energy that we're taking care of ourselves and our well-being comes first, then life responds differently to us. It's really difficult to explain and you can't quantify it, but there'll be lots of people that will understand what I'm saying. Plus, self-compassion helps to reduce burnout. It helps to reduce unnecessary mental suffering because we're going to make a conscious choice every day in the present moment to put our well-being first, and therefore we can be more useful to others in the workplace, in social settings, and more importantly at home amongst our family.
You've dedicated a large part of the course to communicating mindfully. Can you tell us a bit more about this?
Yeah, communication is is so important. It's the foundation for all relationships, healthy relationships. And if we can be mindful of how we're communicating with a fellow employee or our boss, then it makes life easier. Because sometimes we can misunderstand what people are trying to say to us, and we can hear things differently in the mind. But if we're able to be mindful of how we communicate with others, then that will save a lot of problems, and it will save a lot of money as well for companies.
What can a company expect from the MBP course, and exactly how does it work?
Okay, well, they can expect to see that stress, anxiety, frustration is reduced greatly. And I basically come into a company and I train for 8 weeks, 8 consecutive weeks. And they will be given workbooks and exercises and guided meditations to listen to as well. So it's in-house training, but I can also tailor it to suit the immediate challenges in a company or organisation.
And finally, if someone wishes to self-refer, can they order a copy of the workbook and course for their own personal development, and what value will they receive?
Yeah, self-referrals, that's fine. If someone is watching this and they just want to study the course, Mindfulness Burnout Prevention, at home, then they can go onto Amazon.co.uk and they can order the workbook, or they can order it via Kindle or digital reading. It also comes with guided meditations as well, and again exercises to really kind of keep them on track. But it's important to point out that it's not just like a book that you just read and once and you finish and then don't go back to it. It will only be effective if you actually go through the course every day continuously for 8 weeks, and by the time you get to week 8, then you will notice a difference in your mental and emotional state.
Okay, thank you, Christopher. It's been a pleasure talking to you today.
You're welcome.